Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me for today's World Session, the first one of June, June 2nd, 2022. So thank you all for being here with me, and thank you all for watching, those who are watching from home. So welcome, and thank you for being here. I'm going to take a moment before I dive right into the work, is to make sure that you're in a really comfortable spot. Fully feel your body. Take a nice deep breath. Get yourself cozy. Make sure you're not listening to these sessions or any session that you receive while busy. And there's the first release on that. Make sure that you're comfortable, that you're laid up on the couch or in bed or even in your cozy seat, but there's no distractions around you. So you could fully feel yourself during the session. And in we go. The priority for the session is actually feeling. There's this, I know that I do it too. And there's a tendency to run away from feeling, especially when it's uncomfortable, right? So anytime there's an uncomfortable emotion that comes up, or no, it's not an uncomfortable emotion. Emotions are natural, but it's not always comfortable to feel them, especially when they're attached to thoughts. So we're just feel the body first. There's a huge tendency, you can see for yourself, I'm just going to speak for myself, the noticings of what I do. Sometimes I hold my breath, and the breath is really, really important. It scans the body. It scans the physical body and it scans the subtle body. So emotions, your chakra system, your meridians, those subtle energy fields, and it's constantly scanning in, out, in, out, in, out. So we're going to tune into the breath first, moving away from the mind, getting out of the head, and really sinking deeply into the body, sinking deeply within yourself. I'll take a nice deep breath. Please don't force, and exhale. No forcing. Just natural breath. In and out. We're going to do this for 4 repetitions. Tuning in to the sacredness of breath, the breath of life, pulsing through your veins, filling your lungs, and then we have some congestion, but I don't want to feel everything fully. I don't want to be in my life fully. This is not always comfortable. And there's this addiction to always being comfortable, or always only wanting to experience what is comfortable. And that numbs the whole experience. Not everything is going to be comfortable, nor should it be. Life is not comfortable. When a child is born, the mother is in pain. I'm sure the child is being squeezed through the canal. It's not comfortable, but life is being born. There's not always comfort in life. And then there's a numbing of our feelings and our senses, a tamping down of the emotions for the addiction to be comfortable. That totally bypasses a chunk of life. There's a reason why things are called growing pains. When children are growing, they complain of their knees hurting, their body is stretching. It hurts. Sometimes during healing, can have a really big reaction. And those transformations, those shifts, those transmutations, and who knows what you're going to become or what's happening, it's not always comfortable. And we deny the healing experience by wanting to skip over it and going, get on with it already. I want to be over there. skipping over this discomfort, skipping over the feeling. This is all entwisted within the lungs, the lung casing. I'm seeing the chest, the bones, within the fascial tissue down into the diaphragm, all of this numbing of life and experiences. So we're going to dump that addiction to always to comfort. The addiction to comfort. I want to be comfortable always. I don't want to experience life fully. Not always anyway. It's stuck in there like little mind crystals. Or dumping these addictions to comfort. So you can think about what you use for yourself to numb, whether it's overthinking, whether it's food or alcohol. It could be any kind of addiction or coping mechanism that helps you to comfort yourself. And I'm not saying it's not, don't comfort yourself. Obviously, if there's, you can take a soothing blanket or a cup of tea or a cup of soup, and it's very soothing to the soul. That's the difference. It soothes you. It soothes the soul. It's not a trying to jump over the experience or to numb the experience, but you're fully in it and supporting yourself through it or in it. That's the healing. That's the healing. Sitting and feeling and experiencing. And maybe you'll notice tendencies come up, or you'll see your thoughts in a way. You'll be like, oh, that's a weird thinking. I never knew that before. Or you'll have aha moments, or you'll just have this great, your body will do all the work. It'll purge. And it doesn't have to feel comfortable. And that's the healing moment, not jumping over to the next thing and the next thing, or taking a chocolate bar to numb, or maybe it's even going to the gym or overworking. Those are all work, gym time, a little treat. There's nothing inherently wrong with them, except for when they're used as a coping mechanism to numb yourself from experiencing what is happening in the moment, to numb your experience of feeling, to numb your experience of feeling your emotions, to feeling pain within your body, to feeling traumas come up, to be transmuted. And that's all stuck within the lungs, the chest cavity, the bones, right down into the periosteum, right in that diaphragm. It's really tight and constricted. And then the breath can't pass to scan. It just stays in the head full of thought. And then there's a thinking my thoughts are true, believing my thoughts without questioning them. It's really important to think properly, not lazy thinking. Thinking following your thoughts is lazy. It's like letting a dog run the show, and you take a dog out for a walk and they're running all over the place and not giving it, pulling it in by the leash and saying, no, this is where we're going to walk. It's the same thing with the mind. It goes crazy with thoughts, but you can stop it. The mind is not going to stop. That's its nature. It's insane by nature, but you can stop. You can stop. Take a nice deep breath. There's just saying that you can stop it. Thank you, mind. I'm doing something else right now. Thank you. It's its nature. You thank it. Thank you. But I'm doing something else right now. Or I've got it from here. So we're untwisting. There's all this work happening where we're untwisting the lungs, the pneumonial tissues, those alveoli, they're all congested. There's too much water within the lungs, so too much emotion, so built up emotions. We've got a lot of grief and anger and sadness and worry, and that diaphragm's not working well, so thus it can't synthesize the emotions, it can't process them, so they're getting stuck and jammed, and there's so we got to unburden the lungs from those stuck emotions. Open up that diaphragm. I'm going to do a hydration to the diaphragm because it's really sticky. At the same time, if your hands are clean, go ahead and put a little bit of spit on them, stick it in your belly button. I'm going to run a body chemistry to the lungs and to the diaphragm. We're going to do a general body chemistry, virus, bacteria, Allergens, heavy metal is coming up, so mercury, lead, uh, fluoride, water toxins, so glucosamate. Which other one? There's something else. And intolerances. So we've got some sensitivities. So if you're sensitive to food dyes, anything liquid form, so even it's coming in like a mist. So perfumes, there is a deep breath on that, and also intolerance, general intolerances. So you can think about what you're intolerant to. So whether it be an emotional intolerance, maybe you're impatient, maybe you're rough with yourself, you're rough with others, the general intolerance. We're going to dump that through the lungs and the diaphragm. Going to anchor that out. So I'm seeing those mind crystals dissolving. Got to bring in the breath of life into the lungs. We're going to bring in also the seed of life. We're going to bring in some sacred geometry. Whew, and have that sacred geometry work its way through all of the tissues. Oh, that was big. Through the lungs, bringing life back to the lungs, dumping that excess liquid into the lymphatic system, specifically the axilla, the clavicle, through the belly. There's a long lymphatic system in the belly. Just rub your belly, get that lymphatic system moving. We've got shivers on that one, rubbing the belly for the lymphatics and the groin in between, and then back behind the legs for a nice lymphatic drainage from that excess emotion, those fluids, too much water in the lungs, too much water. And we're going to do, maybe tap that in, and we're going to do that body chemistry is also running. Nice deep breath on that one. Beautiful. Now we're going in and we're doing a 5 elements balancing through the organ system. So through the whole organ system. So through the lungs, we're going to do a 5 elements balancing in the heart and the liver, the gallbladders, the stomach, the spleen, the large intestines, the small intestines, and the kidneys, all balancing those 5 elements. They're there to support each other. But when one becomes more dominant, then they all suffer and there becomes imbalance. I don't really like that word. It becomes a little distorted. It becomes strained. And then the organs have a harder time with their function. So I'm just watching that happen. We're bringing a nice balance of the 5 elements within the whole organ system. Linking that into the heart for transmutation and release. It just, oh, there's so much in there that needs some harmonization. I'm gonna link that to the heart to harmonize the system. There it goes. Further body? Nope. That's the end of the session. And further body talk? No, it's a nice and short and sweet, but it is going to run over the next 4 days. Link it into the prefrontal cortex. So for everyone, it'll run differently, and it'll run over the next 4 days as often as you need. So it's going to be an interactive recursive. So what that means is healing will be done, and then healing upon healing, healing upon healing. So improvement upon improvement, restoration upon restoration, rejuvenation upon rejuvenation. It's not letting me go. We've just got we've got another little piece coming in as a parallel session. So if you want a parallel session, you want to think about it like 2 cars driving. So it's not one is more important than the other. They're working together, like parallel driving. And we're tuning in. You can tune into your own natural essence. own natural essence. Not what you think you are, not who you think you are, or that you have to strive to be something or to be someone. Not thought, but into your heart, into your soul, your own natural chi. Very different than everybody else's. There's no one out there like you. You're the only you that's you. And yet there's this huge tendency to compare yourself. Compare yourself to who you used to be. And that shows as a marker of, oh, I'm doing a good job, I'm doing a bad job. Oh, you are what it is in this moment, whatever that is. There's no need to compare yourself. There's no need to compare yourself. There's comparing yourself to others. Oh, they seem like they have a better adult life, they had a great childhood, they have amazing supportive parents, like they have the relationship that I want, they have the car that I want, they have the house that I want. Oh, their kids don't act like this. Oh, their spouse that. Oh, I'm inherently wrong. I'm inherently wrong. No. Whatever you do within your profession or your relationship or your parenting, all of those little bits, you're the only you that can do it. And there's only one you. There's only you. There's no one else that exists in this planet other than you. So you're just like, oh, well, you are the best at what you do and the best at being yourself. Because even if you try to be someone else, it doesn't work. It's impossible to be somebody else. It is impossible to be someone else. And so there's this dampening. It's so hard on the systems. It's so hard on the body. It's a constant repetition of beating yourself up. I'm inherently wrong. I don't do it as good. There'll always be someone out there who does something differently, who may be more beautiful. There's also someone who's less attractive. The flower doesn't compare itself to the tree. The tree doesn't compare itself to the mountain. And yet they're all beautiful. All beautiful. So bringing that consciousness within the system, so important. So important. Just tapping that in, it's running through the systems. You're linking that in through, going to go and do it as a circulation plugin, as a seed tree, actually. Dumping that consciousness of I'm inherently wrong as I do things differently. Oh, you're your own person. You are you. There's no one out there like you. So we're unburdening that from the system. So general body energies, it's quite everywhere within the energetic system, within your physical system. Through the consciousness. And we're going to dump it from the five senses because that's how you experience life, is through the five senses. So we're going to dump that consciousness, that thinking that there's something inherently wrong with me because I don't do it like the other. Bringing that anchoring back into your own personal essence. There it goes. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath. There's the release. Well, I hope this session offers you some relief, maybe some relaxation. I hope it helps you so much. Thank you for watching. I hope you fully enjoyed. Please share, subscribe, like, comment. Please get this work out there. Help me spread it far and wide. I appreciate it so much. For all of you who are supporting me, thank you so much. Everyone who is to support me, thank you so much. I appreciate it so greatly. Also to let you know that there's upcoming workshops. I'm so excited to be teaching Another Soul Responsibility, June 25th. So if you'd like some more information on that, you want to participate and empower yourself by taking responsibility, or you're curious about it, you can either contact me through email or through my website. I'd be happy to schedule a free consultation call with you. If you're interested in even booking a session with me, I'd be happy to set that up with you. Please, please, please reach out. Don't be shy, and see you all next week.